Hello everybody, this is Eggy with Eggy Gaming here, bringing you a Destiny video. And in this Destiny video, we will be showing the Crota's End encounter in the Dark Below. My team managed to do it twice this week. A fairly straightforward encounter once you get used to the mechanics. Something that I imagine everybody will be downing here shortly. So when the fight first starts, you're going to be trapped inside this room. There's going to be some acolytes and some knights. Two knights generally on the left, acolytes just generally on the right. So just go ahead and kill those. If somebody dies right here, it's actually not a huge deal. Just have one person stay behind to res him. What we're going to do here is my team is doing a strategy where we can stay in the hallway underneath where I am now, so they are all going underneath me. My job is to snipe these knights that have boomer cannons, and this will allow my sword bearer to do damage to Crota without taking a whole lot of damage. We rotated throughout the whole fight, sometimes having one sniper up top, sometimes having two. After ogres, but we'll get to that a little later. After you do kill the boomer knights up top, they generally will spawn one knight, which you can see here, which runs along the platform. They generally aren't a problem, but they can run into an issue if your sword bearer goes up and they are still up. The essence of the fight, basically, is to take down a sword bearer that goes in the middle, which my team has done. One person grabs the sword, like you can see now. And then everybody in your team has to focus fire except for the person that's killing the boomers, because the boomer will kill your sword bearer and bring his shield down. Once his shield's down, Crota will kneel and your sword bearer can go up and get some damage put on the boss. Firearms, any guns in the game will actually not damage Crota. The only thing that they can do is bring down the shield, so shooting him past when his shield's down serves no purpose. With this strategy right here, with me being up top, you can see I stay towards the left of that pillar, and he generally won't shoot me. He did here, so I wanted to run down to make sure that I didn't cause a wipe by accidentally dying up there. What my team is doing right now is basically getting ready to kill the sword bearer. You can see that Crota's moved off to the right. So we don't really want to kill the sword bearer right now, because what we wanted to do was only do damage to Crota when he was standing on his middle platform. So more than anything right here, we are stalling. My job as the sniper up top is to wait till Crota goes back to the middle, get back up top. We accidentally kill him a little early here, but I think it works out because, yeah, he ends up going right back to the middle. So I call for help to help bring down these boomers, because we're going to have 4 boomers up right now. And I need to get them down so that they do not kill my sword bearer, who's waiting on the right hand side. Okay, shield's going down. You're going to see Crota start to kneel. Our sword bearer comes in. He's going to get generally 2, sometimes 3 R2 attacks. We are on the PS4 or right trigger attacks if you are on the Xbox One. And we found that to be more than enough. There are different ways and combinations that will do more damage. They generally do get a little bit more risky. I will explain those later. During this phase, once Crota has gone to the right once and then back to the middle and you've damaged him with the sword, he is going to spawn ogres. We found it best that everybody came under the platform for ogres. This allowed us to focus fire them down a little bit faster and kind of actually took out some of the danger, because once you move all the way to the back of this room, it actually is pretty difficult for the ogres to hit you, and if they do, it's really easy to just kind of bug out around a corner here. So now we just have to wait for them to spawn. There they are. So we're running back. We have weapons of light down just so that we can burn them down a little faster. Crota's moving is completely time-based, so you can't kill the sword bearer slow or kill these ogres slow, because doing that will cause a wipe, because you won't be able to get enough damage on Crota. Right after you kill the ogres, you'll see I make the mistake here, but then realize you can't run out right away, because Crota is still going to be on your left-hand side. He does have a gun, so if you do run in front of him, he will shoot at you and kill you relatively quickly. I'm level 31 in this clip, and even such, I will go down very fast. So basically, we are just waiting for him to move back to center. There he is. Me and my teammate here, he is the assistant sniper. He's not up here full time, but after you come up from ogres, you're going to want to kill these knights right away, because your team is going to be taking down the sword bearer, and you do not want these to be up in 4, 5, or 6 knights. Can be a lot for a single person to take down, especially if you are using Icebreaker. Waiting for those rounds to regenerate can be a pain in the ass. Okay, so you can see we got him under 50%. Our sword bearer is up. I took down that knight. That's one that you kind of have to really focus on and be worried about. Now, as we were talking about earlier, there are different combinations of damage you can do, and our sword bearer died. When somebody dies in the fight, this is what happens. It spawns an oversoul, which you have to kill. If you don't kill the oversoul, then it wipes your entire team. We just barely got this one. Our sword bearer is a warlock, a sunbro, so he can just get himself back up. There were times that we actually killed somebody intentionally on the first run of swipes with the sword. Sometimes we would go for 4, knowing that our sword bearer would die, but he could just res himself back up. As you can see, I go in here and get some heavy ammo, running low. Heavies are definitely the safest way to kill the oversoul, so that you don't accidentally cause a wipe. When you are doing the sniping, you want to try and help out with the middle and the sword bearer as much as you can, but it is not your responsibility. There actually is more than enough damage with the 4 or 5 people below that they can generally kill it pretty quickly, so you shouldn't have to help all the time, but it's not bad. Sometimes I'd throw my super down there or throw my grenades, just help them out with all the thralls. The thralls will not chase your team back into the room. So as we were talking about before our sword bearer died, there are a couple different ways that you can cause damage to Crota with the sword. We have used on our 2 kills the R2, R2, and sometimes a third R2 per kneeling, and we found that that was more than enough damage. However, if you are running into the enrage, because there is a pretty hard enrage on this fight, there is a combination of R1, 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 where the third R1 will deal bonus damage, and if you get up there fast enough, it is possible to get that entire rotation in 6 times in a single kneel down. And then obviously he comes back up, you run away, and you will be able to do an additional 3 R1s. Now, as you can see here, we didn't have quite enough damage to kill him, so we knew we were going to get a second round of ogres, so we're all running back in here. After the second round of ogres is when the enrage starts. So you only have, I believe it's 1 rotation after ogres. So basically we're keeping our sword bearer up front to try and lure the ogres into this passage a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can take a while for them to come, which we actually did have, which caused a wipe because we lost a damage session, because if you don't kill them fast enough, then by the time you get them down and the sword bearer down, Crota's moving to the right, where with this strategy we were not damaging him. So basically here we're going to burn down these knights, or these ogres, and then the other damage strategy that our sword bearer used, well, you can use, is what you use on the bridge encounter, the R1, R1, R2 combination. We found that okay, only if you could get in 2 full combinations, which was rare, and generally it would cause your sword bearer to die because he'd just be out there too long. So right here we are waiting for Crota to move back to the center. If you run out there too early, he will shoot you and die, as we said earlier. So as soon as he does that, I will jump back up top with the assist sniper. We'll take down these boomers. And then hopefully here, I think this is when we get a kill. I think we do it on our second set. So we got the right down. So yeah, see, there's this gun that he's showing you, and that thing will kill you really quickly if you get caught in it for too long. There's the timer saying that the enrage is near. That means that this is basically our last attempt. The enrage is him summoning constant oversouls, which if all you can do is damage the oversouls, then you're not doing anything else. You will not kill it. Eventually you will just die. And if you do ignore the oversoul, well, you all die anyway. So our sword bearer's going in. He got 2. He decided to be safe. Probably could have gotten a kill there. Not a bad idea to be safe, guys. If you stay in there a little bit too long, he will kill you. He's got a huge hitbox. And you can see we take him down with RPGs. Final swing. That's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If it was helpful, please leave a like. Any questions in the comments below.